Hey everybody, Horror Hollywood here. Today I got a nice little doodad here to show y'all. It is the Tac-Force Gladius push dagger. Little itty bitty thing. I got this for about $23 at a local knife shop in Gladewater. I looked it up to get some of the info on it because I didn't know what it was made out of, nor really any details about it beyond it being a push dagger. But I looked up on I just clicked on a picture, but it came up to be about $16.95. So it's not really that pricey. Wouldn't even really call it pricey at all. I've gotten a few other things that are a little bit more pricier than this is. But for the price, this thing's actually pretty nice. Yeah. Overall length is about 3.8 inches, and it's made out of 3CR13 stainless steel. The handle's made out of G10, and I don't entirely know what that is. But I ain't gonna push that back. And it's actually got a full tang. So it got some blade, and then it goes all the way through. It's got two screws, both sides of it. And this one is actually on the smaller end of push daggers. You have some that it can actually be pretty large for what it is. Sometimes they could even cover the whole part of the hand, but this one just goes from my middle finger to the ring finger. So it's not entirely that that big. And the handle that actually comes with, or that sheath, is kind of nice. Cannot fit on over a hat if you wear it backwards though, but that's not that big of a problem. It's made out of, what was the name? Kynex, something like that. Kind of thick plastic. It fits in there pretty well actually, and that's what I really enjoy about that. It takes a little bit of effort to actually pull it out. I have a karambit knife, which has a similar sheath as well, except for instead of having it like an indent, it just has 2 points that are actually on the blade itself that stick into little slots on the sheath, and it does not stay in there very well. I've actually almost stabbed myself in the foot a few times trying to get the damn thing to work. But this one actually fits in fairly well. There's really no shaking. It's a little bit, but it's not really anything I'd worry about. It's a single-edged one too. This one actually comes in well, you can see I just got the silver scale on here, but it also comes in black, so if you want to go for the full tactical kind of look, I guess you can do that too. I personally don't enjoy all that. I mean, I like black. Black's like my favorite shade of color, but when it comes down to it, to me personally, if the blade itself is kind of dyed in the black deal, it looks fake to me. It looks cheap, which sometimes it can be. And as I said, this one goes on kind of the smaller side of a push dagger. Oh, I can't do that. It'll fall off my hand. Yeah, it's not that big at all. They can, like I said, come in a variety of sizes and whatnot, but this is really the only one they had there. But I gotta say, so far I do like it. It's got more of a, well, it's a push dagger, so they're supposed to be more thrust oriented, but the tip is actually kind of nice. And let's see here. Yeah. Kind of cuts the hair off. I don't really got hairy arms to begin with, but that works. And I gotta say, so far, this is a pretty cool little detail. It comes with a great scabbard. The blade itself, I've been told quite a lot that stainless steel is decent for the long run. It's not something you want to go too physical on, because that can break it. Because I made a review and a testing thing of a Colombian survival spear, and that was kind of the same deal. If I remember correctly, that was made out of the same steel, and it worked well. It was sharp, it cut, it thrusted fairly well. The only thing is that the blade itself was very flimsy. It bent kind of easily. I ended up throwing it into a thing of wood. It stuck, but it didn't go in far enough to be able to hold it, so it tilted, and then it bent the tip of the spear. But this one actually has a lot of good thickness onto it. It's about, I wouldn't say it's about as thick as my knife, but the tip of the blade itself has a pretty much same thickness as this pocket knife here. And if you can tell, my pocket knife's a little bit thicker. Of course, the spine's not going to be the same. The spine on this one's a hell of a lot thicker, but this one, it actually works pretty nice. I've been carrying this around for a few days now. I gotta say though, the grip here is a little weird. It could be just because I've never owned a push dagger. I don't really know the details on it, but it's a little wide right here, which is not too big of a problem. This, I'd rather have it be a little bit thicker, so I got a little bit more something to hold on to. Because right now, I can't really, like, I can tell it being pressed between my two fingers here, but beyond the grip there, I can't feel nothing. It's damn near non-existent, which isn't too big of a deal. I mean, it's better than nothing, and the grip here is actually supposed to be slip resistant, so your hands get sweaty, or you're fighting a bear in a river, your hand's not going to slip on it. Though if you're holding it like this, the only really thing I can think of is it tilting outwards, and that's what I'm going to try and test out here soon, is to see if, I'm not going to punch into anything hard with it, but I'm going to try and see if I can actually punch into it, into like maybe a, I don't know, soft thing of wood, some cardboard, hell if I know, to see if it actually, because right here, I'm squeezing as hard as I physically can, it still moves. Because really, the only thing you got to hold on to is this. Like I said, I'm not knowledgeable about push daggers, so I can't entirely tell you if it's, good or not. I would wish, like I said, this to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more something to hold on to, or at the very least make this, the indents here, a little bit shorter, so my fingers can actually fit in there, because I got a pretty good little space right there. I don't know if you can see that well. Kind of put my fingers between it, and that, I don't really like it that well, because I honestly do feel if I was to punch something with this, it would either bend out of my grip, twist, or just snap, because right here, that's a very thin point. It might have a full tang going through it, but I've had quite a few things that would had a full tang, beefy blade, but it still managed to snap. My Bowie knife that I made a review on, it actually snapped at the very thinnest part of the blade before it hit the actual handle. But this one right here, I got some good hopes in this one. Just for a standoff review, something before I actually get down to testing it. It's actually quite nice. I love the case for it. It stays in there very well. I ain't got to worry about this falling out and stabbing me in the foot or doing anything like that. It actually made a pretty good material. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a small slit right there. And when you put the dagger, the push dagger in there, it actually widens a bit, so it actually shuts down onto it. Instead of just being a light grasp on it, it actually pushes that in, which spreads the grip here, and then once it's fully in, it shuts back down to actually hold it into place. And if I pull it out, it does widen a little bit, and then it goes back to being closed when I fully take it out. I'm not gonna say so far, just on it, like I said, on a base review, this is actually a pretty cool little doodad. A little something to carry around with you, a little extra protection. I mean, I always carry around a pocket knife with me just in case I get stuck in the woods or whatnot, but having something like this is kind of nice. I just kind of did wish, though, that they made it a double-sided, because right here, this is, I can't really, unless I hold it like that. That is just uncomfortable as hell. I gotta kind of bend it a bit and stretch my thumb. If I do it like in the center there, I can't really reach it. And unless I'm doing it like this, I can't really see why that would be any useful. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little doodad. I might make a little testing thing on it, see how well it holds up to stabbing into some lightweight material. I'm actually going to try cutting it as well, because hold on. That's a little thicker on that side. It's a gang doodad. I ain't got much paper at the house. I mean, it cuts through the paper just fine, but the plastic itself, no, that's not cutting at all. Nope, I just tore it. Well, could be just the paper. Who knows? But I'll make a review. Goddamn. Freaking testing thing on this at some point and see how well it does in actual cutting tests and whatnot. But until then, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.